Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 easy tips and tricks that I use to save money. Now I'm guessing you stumbled upon this video for a couple of reasons. 1, you are trying to save more money. 2, you are trying to pay something off. Okay, most Americans have something they need to pay off. It helps to have extra money for that. Or 3, you are just trying to have extra spending money. Now here is a little backstory on how I figured these out. My husband and I were in college when we got married. He was playing football and could not have a job. I had just found out that we were expecting our first son, Truett, after we had been married for a little bit. So who was going to hire a pregnant girl? Not a lot of people. So I applied for jobs and I didn't really find any. Well, we had some scholarships and grants that were ours. We had it saved, but we didn't know how long it was going to last. So we had to make the decision to live frugally. And I mean completely frugally. It's much harder than it seems, and I found these 10 tips and tricks very helpful. Like life-changing helpful, and we have not changed how we do this, even though we obviously make more now that we have real jobs. All right, so my number 1 trick. This is the most important tip of them all. You need to have a budget for yourself. A budget is just a plan for your money. If you don't have a plan or a guideline for your spending for the month, you are going to be all over the place. Okay, my favorite motto is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You need to have a set amount of money for everything in the month. You need to have a set amount for your rent, for your groceries, for your gas, for your personal spending. You have to have this to be on top of your money. Just because you have a budget doesn't mean that you don't have money. People who are smart with their money have a budget. People with a lot of money have a budget. It's the only way to be successful with your finances. You need a plan. I will link down below my very favorite video on budgeting. It's the one that I still use. It's the one that I've always used, and I hope that it's helpful to you. Tip number 2, you need to look at your bank account every day. You cannot go a day without looking at your bank account if you want to be successful. An easy thing that I do is my bank sends me an email every morning about 5 o'clock, and it tells me my remaining balance in my checking account. I use this for 2 reasons. What if somebody was stealing from you and you didn't know, and it took a week because you didn't check your bank account regularly? 2, you need to know how much money you have every day. If you don't know how much money you have, you're not going to know how much you have to spend, okay? You need to be spending consciously and be aware of how much money you have. So you need to know and look at your bank account every single day. All right, tip number 3 is to track your daily spending. Now I know that this seems dreadful and boring, but it's very important. So I like to give myself a weekly spending budget, and every single day when I buy something, I write it down on a note in my phone. This helps me stay on track for how much I'm spending. And I know when I get close to my limit, I'm done. I can't spend any more money for the week. All right, tip number 4 is to use cash for your spending. Now, if you are the opposite of this, you might want to skip this step. But for me personally, when I have cash in my hand, I don't like to see it disappear. There is something about having cash that makes me stop spending. When I swipe my card, it's not as a big deal to me, I guess, or I don't see the money in front of me disappearing. So I like to take out cash every month for spending. So when I get paid, we save, pay the bills, and then I take out cash every month for groceries, gas, personal spending, fun, and then eating out. And I have cash for those things. The theory of this is that by paying all your bills, saving, getting your cash, you are not going to have to touch your debit card again. So you should have leftover money in your debit card that month. That leftover money you can use to save, to pay something off, to have personal spending, okay? That is the idea of this. If you are the opposite with cash and it's burning a hole in your pocket, don't do this. Just stick with your debit card, but you still need to track your weekly spending to stay on top of it. All right, tip number 5 is to buy generic. You can do this at any store. Walmart, specifically, their generic brands are so much cheaper than the name brands. It is basically the same thing with a different label on it. Stick with it, and I promise you will see at least a $10 difference on your receipt. Maybe even 20, it depends how much you're buying. But stick with generic, and that can help you save on your grocery budget. Tip number 6 is to turn off the lights. I am the biggest hypocrite when it comes to this. Growing up, my dad used to call me light lady. He still does whenever I go home and visit, even though I've switched my habits. But I used to leave the lights on everywhere I went in a room. Like all over the house, the lights would be on. I don't know why. I don't think I was scared of the dark. It's just I wouldn't think to turn off the lights. This changed very quickly when I moved out in college and started paying for my own electricity bill. But if you're not in a room, turn everything off. It's gonna help on your electricity bill. Okay, this brings me to tip number 7. Adjust your thermostat. If you are always comfortable with your AC being on 75, put it up to 76 and see what happens, okay? Maybe put it up to 77 and turn on some fans. Turn on the fan in the room that you're in, buy a box fan. It will do a world of a difference, okay? Now, I'm not saying to be uncomfortable when you go to sleep. Turn on the air when you go to sleep at night. Don't kill yourself during the day. But if you are looking to save just a little bit, that's going to help on your electricity bill. If you're just in one room of the house, you don't need the heater or the AC on everywhere. Put fans on, put a space heater in there, and it will help. Tip number 8 is to make your coffee at home. Now, this is way easier said than done. I love to go get coffee. To me, it's like a form of a treat for myself. That's what I do. I could go get a coffee every single day. I mean, who wouldn't, right? But it's between $3 to $5 a cup usually, and that's so expensive, especially when you're trying to save money and cut cost. So maybe set a goal for yourself. Get one once a week. That's what I do for myself. I'll have a cup of coffee out once a week. The rest of the time, I'm making it at home. There are lots of YouTube videos on how to make lattes at home. There's even handheld latte frothers that you can have at home. There are a lot of ways to do it yourself. You just have to learn how to do it. Tip number 9 is to make your meals at home. I love to eat out. Everybody loves to eat out. I don't know a person who doesn't, but when you're trying to cut costs, that is something that you really need to get in control of. It is so much cheaper to make your meals at home. Eating out is fun. It's a social thing. It's easier sometimes to have somebody make your meals for you when you have a busy and hectic life. I know that. I recently, about a year ago, invested in an Instant Pot, and it has changed the way I cook. It is so much faster, and you can throw things in there that are frozen, and it will cook it for you in 5 to 10 minutes, and you have a meal. If your eating out budget is getting to where it's higher than your grocery budget, I would say that could be a problem for you to fix. If you're really trying to cut costs, your grocery budget needs to be higher than your eating out budget, because eating out, you may spend $10 on a meal. You could have made it at home for $5 for the whole family, okay? Please try to make your meals at home. A lot of people eat out. It's because they're failing to plan to eat at home. You need to have meals that you know how to cook quickly and easily, and you need to plan them out throughout the week. I write down my meals weekly and I plan them out. When I go to the grocery store, I know exactly what I need. If you're not making a plan for your meals and for your groceries, you're not going to eat at home. It's just not gonna happen. So you need to plan. If you would like to see my favorite recipes on cooking and using my Instant Pot for meals, go to my blog, lifewithabbylee.com, and you can read for yourself my favorite recipes that I use. Number 10 is my favorite way to save because it involves shopping. I love to shop. I have always loved to shop. It's probably killing my husband to watch this video and hear me say this, but that is just how I've always been my whole entire life. I love to shop. It doesn't matter if it's in person, if it's online. I can do it every single day. Now, that is not something that you need to do if you're trying to save money. You really have to get in control of spending. So here's how I learned to do it frugally. I only buy something if it has a coupon or if it's on sale. I have tried to figure out my favorite stores that have frequent sales and a really good clearance. Two of my favorite are Target and Kohl's. Now, Kohl's lets you stack coupons, and if you use their Kohl's credit card, you get 30% off whatever you buy. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh, a credit card, that's not good. Well, you can swipe your credit card in the store and immediately it lets you pay it off at the register. So you're technically not accumulating any debt. Target has a wonderful clearance. I love their clearance, especially clothes. If you can learn to buy your clothes when the seasons are changing or about to change, you save almost 50% on clothes that you were looking at in the previous couple of weeks. If you can teach yourself to wait, to be patient, you will find the things that you're wanting at a cheaper rate if you just wait. There are a lot of times when I see something online and I want it really bad and I just want to click it and get it. But if I can teach myself to wait 6 weeks, 2 months, it's going to be half price. I promise you. Unless it's something I really need, like that moment, I can't wait, then I will buy it. But I will look for a coupon on retailmenot.com. They have coupons and sales. Tells you for literally every store. I get the app and then I just look it up when I'm in the store or when I'm shopping online and I apply the coupon. All right, guys, I hope that these 10 tips were helpful to you. I hope that you try them. I promise you, if you give them a try for 1 month, you will see yourself saving money. You may not be able to try all of them at first. It might be too hard, but if you can, try a couple and every month add another one. I promise you're going to see yourself save money. I also have this video written out as a blog post. If you'd like to look back at it as a reference, you can go to lifewithabbylee.com. You can go to the Saving Money tab at the top and you can find this blog post yourself. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I hope that you hit the subscribe button to see more videos coming up. Leave me some comments below on your favorite ways to save money every month. I would love to hear more. It's my favorite thing to see how other people are saving money. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you again next time.